Okay, guys, here we are with another video. I love me some Just Pearly Things. I think she's a very rational person. I think she's a very logical person. I think she really does go out of her way to try to um, bring voices that normally aren't heard onto her show and give them a platform. So, me personally, I just love talking. I don't have a lot of bandwidth to do it like all the time, and I think for me, social topics, because of how frustrating it can be to listen to some people logic, and then not even be able to have like a normal conversation, like a serious conversation. For me, it just gets tiring after a while. But I do like how there are individuals out there like Pearly herself, and I might start a podcast maybe in about a year from now, where I am more comfortable. I am so much more of an introvert, but I am becoming a little bit more comfortable, and probably will go on a few other podcasts. If you guys didn't know, I was on the Whatever podcast about 3 weeks ago. Um, and I don't know, I want to be able to be on more podcasts so I can get more comfortable with public speaking and being able to control your emotions so you can get your point across, without, I don't know, oh no, fuck that. It's not making people feel bad. No, some people should be shamed. I 100% believe that. But let's go into this whole thing with her addressing Nick Fuentes. I've never heard of this guy until like maybe a little bit when Trump was in office. I heard him making making rounds around the news, but for the majority, didn't really know the guy. So I like it when individuals like that bring individuals on to so that other people can understand their thinking patterns. So let's see what she has to say with all of this.
Hey guys, welcome to the JustPearlyThings YouTube channel, and welcome to Morning Coffee Thoughts, where I give my thoughts over morning coffee. Today I have a chai tea. I quit coffee. You guys don't care about what I'm drinking. Okay. Today, I'm going to be addressing the Nick Fuentes situation. Yeah, I know why you guys are here. Okay. So, I want to first say I take full accountability for everything that happened. Everything that happens in life, as I say to the girls on my show, is my own fault. The fact that people are making these videos is my own fault. And the situation that I'm in is my own fault. Now, I'm going to give you guys an explanation and give you guys context for some of the conversations that were had. Just know it's not an excuse. It's my own fault. I take full accountability for everything that happened. Okay. So, but I'm going to answer questions that people have brought my way. So the first thing is, why did you have Nick on? The reasoning behind having Nick Fuentes on was because I heard that he was on the no-fly list and he lost his bank account. Now, from your point of view, you would think, why would you invite someone on
Are you kidding
that's on
me?
the no-fly list?
Are you kidding
that
me?
would be a bad.
That's
well, he's not
fucking
anymore.
great. Because I want to hear the controversy on why such a thing happened to such an individual. That's hilarious.
That's how he flew, but he was. So I was more just curious why this man was banned on everything. Now, I've seen a lot of videos that say I play dumb or I'm playing dumb, and I'll tell you what I knew and what I didn't know. So I did know that he was a known racist. I did know he was a known sexist. I did know that basically every bad name in the book, from the right and the left, everyone hated him. So the reason I had him on was because, guys, people say that stuff about me. They say I'm sexist. They say I'm a misogynist. Yeah. And, I really just like to give people the benefit of the doubt when I interview them. I don't go into interviews trying to interrogate someone. I just more try to listen and see where they're coming from. In hindsight, that wasn't smart. And in hindsight, I should have had someone, maybe Sarah Garvey, maybe another content creator that could have pushed back more and really was more educated on the topics that he was talking about than I was, because I certainly was not an expert in any of the stuff that he was talking about. I did remove the interview. I, again, did not think through a lot of the repercussions of posting that, so I just removed it. If you do want to see the full interview, Obsidian did react to it. That's on his channel. The intention was not, I guess, to hide it. It was just, this might not have been the best move. I'm just going to remove it now. So again,
Pearly, what was you say that might not have been your best move. No, what you did, that wasn't your best move. You knew what your intentions were when you brought this man on. I haven't watched the interview, but I have seen plenty of your shows, and there was a few clips where I saw where you had girls up there putting and checking him. I don't like the whole ganging up on people. I like to hear them talk. I like to hear them a lot of times try to bury themselves, make it worse for them. So you bowing down to these people who don't care, they don't care about you. They don't care about how you even feel about this whole situation. They don't even care that you actually brought Nick Fuentes on. They just want something to bitch and complain about. You know this. She knows this. So simply apologize to these, or I shouldn't even say apologize, to pander to these fuckers. Girl, you're better than that. You ain't gotta explain yourself when it comes to your intentions to bringing this person on, when a lot of the times you did exactly that. Listened. And, that is a novel concept that people just don't like. They don't like to have conversations with individuals who think opposite of them. However, they might learn a few things if they do. But they'll never learn them if they don't conquer their fears and sit in a room and talk to someone who has a different view and a different opinion than them. Maybe it might confirm your own beliefs and why you believe certain things and why you think a certain way. Or maybe they could open your mind up to having a little bit of compassion or empathy for people who have their opinions. So nothing you did was wrong. You just have people out there who are butthurt and offended, even though a lot of the things that they cry about Nick Fuentes' behavior are embedded in all of us, especially when it comes to racism. I think a Black conservative perspective made a very good point on. No, it's another guy, I think, made a very good point on this. How when you walk into a room, right? Doesn't matter what race you are. Let's just say that when you walk into the room, you're gonna look around. You're gonna find people who look like you and go towards that crowd. Now imagine if you are a Black person in a room full of white people and you see one other Black person. It's natural to go over to that Black person and strike up a conversation. Does that mean that you're racist? No. It only means that you're uncomfortable at the situation. You might not know anyone there. The same can go with your friends. Let's say you're at a place and you don't know anybody there, except for one person who didn't even know that you were going to be there, and you decide to go over there. You latched onto something that you knew. Does that make you, I don't know, well, it might make you a little introvert. I'm definitely one of those individuals, which is a very classic sign of an introvert. But is it a bad thing? No, it's human nature. So I'm not going to sit here and say that the extent to which Nick Fuentes' racism goes is natural. That is something taught, but everyone has a sense of wanting to belong somewhere. It's only natural, and the thing that will most likely attract to someone, the thing that will attract someone to a particular person off the bat automatically is simply how they appear. Imagine a room full of people who don't have tattoos and you're all wearing tank tops. Imagine people not wearing tattoos, and then there's one person in the room with tattoos. I'm heavily tattooed. 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna go over to that other person, admire their artwork, have them look at mine, and have a conversation. Mind-blowing, right? No, it's not.
Racism has no place in society, and I do take accountability for bringing him on. Hindsight's always 2020. I wrote down some of the complaints that people had. So if I look this way, it's just because I made bullet points of everyone's concerns, and I'm just addressing them. Okay. My Africans, that part. So in the heat of the conversation, I made some remarks to my producer, Blessing. Now, Blessing is a godsend. Okay, Blessing has made the production quality literally phenomenal. He's so talented. And during this conversation, we were talking about immigration, and I said, I'm trying to get my Africans to America. Now, I watched it back, guys. It was so cringy. Oh my gosh, it was so embarrassing. I met my African employees. I just said Africans. The reason is because, like, why wouldn't you just say my employees or whatever to America? The African passport system is just more difficult than the UK one. I didn't know, like, Blessing had to go to the embassy or something to apply to go to America with me next month. We're going to go do some work there. And, yeah, and so I've just found that the immigration process is a bit more difficult. So that's why I referred to them, because my African employees, I needed more help with. And, you know, I was saying in the interview that I wanted more open border policies because I wanted them to come. Again,
they say life's a journey. You can't always control where you go, but you can.
You know, I really respect the African culture. I had no ill will or malice towards any of that.
You know, here's another thing for those people making those complaints. Let me tell you how they lack critical thinking, okay? She does a lot of her shows in the UK. There's black people in the UK. Where the fuck do you think they come from? UK is a white nation. Where the fuck do you think they get all their Africans from? Well, all these black people from. Where the fuck do you think they come from? Did they come from America? No, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna come from an African country. I barely see any black Americans on her show when she's in London. Just only the few that fly over. So she didn't even have to even put that in there. But for those who don't critically think, it's a sad world. A sad world. They only get offended when people talk about them in a way that makes them seem inferior. That's it. And that means that ranges from their actions, the consequences. Their actions and the consequences that they have to face now because of their actions, and honestly, their laziness. And I'm sorry to say, all my black friends are African, except for my sister. Every single one. Now, ask me why. Well, most of them either are African or they come from the Caribbean. Ask me why. If you have to ask me why, and you're black, well, you haven't been living in America too long to open up your eyes to see what's going on in the black community. I would rather hang out with girls, and the only girls that I have that I get along with, actually, who are of black descent, they are just not from America. I can't get on with this culture. I can't get on with the wretchedness, the lack of class. And then when someone calls you out for your fucking shitty ass behavior, you want to get all offended about it. So you want to do your shit, talk your shit, and not have anyone tell you about your shit. Not in my house, not in my life, not in my friendships. Because what I expect for my friends to do is to tell me the truth when I'm acting up. Check me when I'm doing some things. Talk to me when you're not understanding my logic or why I do certain things. Those are the type of friends I would rather have. Not fucking ghetto ass single baby mama promoting that lifestyle ghetto fucking welfare queen.
But it sounded absolutely awful. It was so cringy watching back. So it was stupid. Okay. Now let's talk about the My Africans was the other one, and then the joke about Blessing being late. So one thing that they cut out from that clip was that Nick Fuentes did say after, "Oh, I'm just giving you a hard time. I'm just kidding." Okay. Now, even so, it was still in poor taste. And what I didn't think about at the time was, sorry, for those that didn't see it, basically Nick Fuentes was talking about he's always late. And I said, "You were on time today." "Oh, Blessing was the one that's late." And it's sort of an inside joke here at JustPearlyThings. Like, Blessing is just, he's phenomenal, but he's a late guy. And every time he comes in, he says African time. Now, Pearl me. So,
See, that's funny. And you know the craziest thing, black people know we have our own thing too. It's called BST, Black People Standard, well, Black Standard Time. People know this. People know this. They act, y'all want to all of a sudden get offended when it's African time, African Standard Time. What? Y'all just want to be butthurt over everything. Just shut up. Like, to be honest, I don't even really understand why so many people want to hang out with black people. All y'all do is just fucking complain about shit, and it's just such a it's just like a, I mean, you got me doing it. Shit, it's just like a constant nagging. I'm so tired of being around y'all. Fucking A, man.
when I was referring to him,
bring a bitch down
during this joke, I was like, African. Now, I was saying African time, referring to what he says when he comes in. Now, what I realized is this was especially disrespectful because we did have someone that's a known white supremacist race. Like, you know, making that joke in front of him, with him, is just in poor taste. And I did apologize to him for it. I really had no malice or ill will. But, you know, stupid. It was just stupid, okay? The next thing is, I've gotten a lot of criticism for, you know, using the black culture and then I'm going right and leaving it, like that sort of thing. You can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but that seems to be a big point of contention. My intention was never to be, you know, quote unquote leader in the black manosphere or the manosphere in general. I really have always just looked at the men as the leader. I mean, they're the thought leaders. Let's just be honest. And me, I try to support them in any way I can. You know, I bring them on my show, but saying I'm a leader.
So she's doing things that black people always complain about that white people should do, and then when she does, this is what they complain about. So look, Pearly, I don't know why there was more, you know, black individuals on your show. Maybe they were more willing to talk to you and to be and wanting to go on this show. I don't know. Maybe it has to do with the guests that were going to be on there. Maybe they knew some people that were going to be on your show, and so they wanted to come on as well. I don't think her intentions was to ever become some, I don't know, whiteface Oprah, blackface Oprah, whiteface Oprah, or some shit like that. I think she was just making a platform for people to talk about dating and to talk about very controversial topics that a lot of people, especially in the black community, don't ever want to admit to or own up to. And for crying out loud, where you got BET, single baby mamas, and all this other shit, and the behavior running rampant, just nastiness, like fucking Canaanite, fucking like, they just remind me of a lot of the shit I was seeing in the Bible from not the good guys, from the nasty individuals that would inhabit the lane of, that did actually inhabit the lane of the promised land, the Gentiles and the Philistines and the Canaanites and the Hittites, all of them. That's that type of behavior from the Bible. You see that shit in a lot in the black community. It's fucking gross. It's fucking nasty. And it's nice that it's refreshing to have other people on the show who look like me, who think like me, and want to change this. And the only way you can really do it is when you talk down with other black people and say, hey, this is what we are showing to society. We need to fucking change that. And I am proud that someone like her, or just someone like her who had the knowledge to grow her platform so big to bring on all these black voices. That's something to be proud of. But you know, you can't win. That's why I say you can't win with black people, Pearl. Just like, you know, at the end of the day, there's times I'm just like, man, leave them alone. Just fuck them. Let them die off. Let them just, man, just go. Go and be whores. Go and be baby mamas. Don't try to improve your life. Just be ghetto. Get the fuck out my face. I don't care. But, you know, keep doing what you're doing. I hope she keeps doing what she's doing. Don't change up. Don't switch up. You got this far because you were controversial. So why the fuck would you change all of a sudden? Because a few people who were never there with you in the beginning in the first place got something bad to say about you. No, sweetie. They weren't there when you were starting off, and they're not going to be there when you decide to pass on your legacy to someone else. They're just jealous, peanut butter and jealous, because they couldn't get to where you are so fast. That's how I feel about it. And I'm actually kind of ashamed, because a lot of the men who I like MTR and O'Shea Duke Jackson, now you coming at people who I've liked. I've been subscribed to those channels too, a lot. O'Shea Duke Jackson and MTR. They all have valuable content. But what I'm not going to be allowed, what I'm just not going to do is subscribe to people who bash other people when they're all in the same group. You can all have your messages, but when you start doing that shit, you're the one. You're the one who's the problem, not her. You're the one who don't want to have other opinions, not her. So I'm just like, you know, I don't know whether or not I'm going to unsubscribe from those channels, but now they're attacking, not MTR, but O'Shea Duke attacking black conservative perspectives. So I'm just like, look, you know, that's another black man attacking another black man. Where have I seen this? Oh yeah, black on black crime and Will Smith and Chris Rock. I'm just tired of it. I'm fucking tired of it. And all we're doing is calling the shit out. But I don't think that what Pearly did was bad. Just from, like I said, the clips that I saw of her, she was mainly silent, actually doing exactly what she does, listening. I mean, for crying out loud, we've had interviews given with Jeffrey Dahmer. That's controversial, but apparently having Nick Fuentes, the whole world's gonna burn down now. Get the fuck out of here. Anyways, I'm done. Bye. Oh, I'm so unprofessional with editing.